Yes, hi everyone, and we have already gone through the two lectures in atoms and molecules, and if you all have not gone through them, I recommend you all going through them. You will find the link in the description box. So before moving ahead and before talking about the electronic configurations and how to find valency and guess how the compounds are formed, it's equally important to go through some questions. So let us go through this very first question. In a reaction, 5.3 grams of sodium carbonate reacted with 6 grams of acetic acid. Products were 2.2 grams of CO2, that is carbon dioxide, 0.9 grams of water, and 8.2 grams of sodium acetate. Show that these observations are in agreement with the law of conservation of mass. है ना, ये reaction दिया हुआ है. What is the reaction? Sodium. I'll just take this reaction and put it here. You have sodium carbonate reacting with acetic acid to form sodium acetate and carbon dioxide and water. So what is the mass of this given? I'll just write here 5.3 grams, acetic acid 6 grams, sodium acetate 8.2 grams, CO2 2.2 grams, and water 0.9 grams. We have to show that these observations are in accordance with the law of conservation of mass. So if you add the total masses on the left hand side, we get 11.3 grams. While adding all the masses of the components on the right hand side, we get 11.3 grams only. And since the masses on left hand side and right hand side are equal, that means there is no change in mass. So if there is no change in mass, we can say the masses are conserved. Masses are conserved, and hence, yes, it follows the law of conservation of. Okay, moving ahead to the next question. So here it says hydrogen and oxygen combine in the ratio 1:8 by mass to form water, right? To form water. What mass of oxygen would be required to react completely with 3 grams of hydrogen gas? What is the mass of hydrogen gas given? 3 grams. तो ऑक्सीजन का मास क्या रिक्वायर्ड होगा? ये रेशियो दिया है ना, हाइड्रोजन अगर 1 पार्ट है, ऑक्सीजन इज 8 पार्ट्स, so you will just multiply 8 by the part of hydrogen, you get 24 grams. So what will be the answer? 24 grams of oxygen is required to react with 3 grams of hydrogen. Well, here we can also figure out the amount of water added. How we can find out that? By law of conservation of mass. लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में देखें तो टोटल मास इज 27 ग्राम्स, तो राइट हैंड साइड में फाइनल प्रोडक्ट जो आएगा वो भी 27 ग्राम्स होगा, राइट? ओके, मूविंग अहेड टू द नेक्स्ट सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. So here we have number 3. Which postulate of Dalton's atomic theory is the result of law of conservation of mass? So guys, if you haven't gone through these things, I recommend watching the video where I have completely described in detail the theories based on which we are doing the questions. Just find those link in the description box. So कौन सा postulate है डाल्टन का which is the result of law of conservation of mass? Atoms cannot be created nor be destroyed, right? अगर एटम को हम क्रिएट नहीं कर सकते या डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं कर सकते, then definitely there will be no change in mass because the complete mass is due to the masses of individual atoms. Number 4. Which postulate of Dalton's atomic theory can explain the law of definite proportions? So that Dalton's law is relative number and kinds of atoms are equal, right? Okay, so moving ahead to the next theories. Here, before discussing the theories, we will talk about electronic configuration, because this is what we actually require to find out the valencies, and valency is required to get the formula of the compound. Like if I am writing, let's suppose, water, why I am writing H2O? If I am writing copper sulfate, why I am writing CuSO4 only? There is a reason behind that. And if we are able to find out valency, we can easily write down the formula of any compound. Okay, so first we will start with electronic configuration. To understand electronic configuration, let us focus on any random atom. This is the nucleus, and we know the electrons keep revolving around the nucleus in their fixed orbits, right? So let us say this is the first shell in which electron is revolving. Shell means I am referring to the orbits. This is the second shell, and similarly third shell, fourth shell, like that. So we have representation for the shells. K shell representing first shell, L shell representing second shell, M shell representing the third shell, and N shell representing the fourth shell. Now, there are certain limitations based on how many electrons can be accommodated in each shell. So you must remember that K shell can accommodate only 2 electrons. L shell can accommodate 8 electrons. M shell can accommodate 18 electrons, right?
Yeah.
But it is also to be noted that while talking about electronic configuration, we mean to show the arrangement of electrons, in different orbits or different shells. So let us say there is a random atom, and that atom has atomic number 5, and I want to write the electronic configuration. How I will write? First, K shell can accommodate only 2 electrons. So okay, 2 is present in K shell. L shell can accommodate up to 8 electrons. So 3 will be present in L shell, and we write the electronic configuration as 2, 3, indicating in K 2 shell, in L 3 shell. Like this,
Yeah.
M and N has 0 electrons respectively.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the electronic configuration of the atom with atomic number 5. Let us take another example. Let us say I want to write electronic configuration of sodium. So for sodium, what is the atomic number? 11. So
Yeah.
what will be the electronic configuration? 2, 8 and 1, right? Just add them.
Yeah.
11 protons, that means 11 electrons as well. So this
Yeah.
is the electronic configuration.
Okay.
Now let us write the electronic configuration of calcium. I have already told you to remember the atomic numbers of elements from 1 to 20 at least, and also the masses from 1 to 20. That will be really helpful. But let us suppose if you do not
Okay.
remember, I give you that calcium, the atomic number is 20. Write down the electronic configuration. Let us see here. That is okay. It can accommodate up to 2, 8 and 18. But generally you will see for calcium there is an exception, that at
Okay.
the outermost shell the number of electrons will not exceed 8, right? So if you get 2, 8 and 10, so you need to limit this up to maximum 8 only. That's the thing we are going to consider. This is the exception
Okay.
we are going to consider. Even if you look for potassium, atomic number is, let's say, 19. So you will find 2881, right? I will
Okay.
never write it as 289. This is
Mm-hmm.
only acceptable when there is one more shell and the electrons can be added onto that, right?
Okay.
Let us say, for example, I want to write the electronic configuration of aluminium with Z equals to 30. So what will be the electronic configuration of aluminium? It will be 2, 8 and 3. Okay,
Yeah.
once we are sure about the electronic configuration, let us now talk about the valency. Talking about the definition, that is very simple. You will find everywhere the same definition, that valency
Yeah.
is the combining capacity of element. Combining capacity
Right.
of element.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we find out the valency? We also understand the meaning of valency, what is meant by combining capacity of element. But how do we find out valency? For that we have a rule. Rule is that just check the outer valence electrons. Of course, valence electrons is the electrons lying in the outermost shell. So in the outermost shell, whatever electron is lying, those are called as valence electrons. Or you can say the electrons present in the valence shell. Valence shell means we are talking about outermost shell. So whatever
Yeah.
electron is present, what can be the maximum number of electrons that can be present in the valence shell? It is 8. Maximum electrons that can be present. I am talking about the valence shell. That means there is no shell after this. So it is 8.
Okay.
So if 8 is the maximum electron that can be present, then let us suppose I have got the electronic configuration of an element whose valence electron is 3. Another element valence electron is 5. Another element whose valence electron is 2. Another element whose valence electron is 4. Let us see how to find out valency. The one which is having 5 electrons, you can see
Yeah.
it can lose these 5 electrons, or it can gain 3 electrons, because in both the cases it will complete its octet. What is meant by octet? That means complete outermost shell.
Okay.
Complete outermost shell. So for example, let us say I talk about potassium. It has atomic
Okay.
number 19. What is the electronic configuration? 2881.
Yeah.
If it loses one electron, its electronic configuration will be 288. If it gains
Mm-hmm.
7 electron, its electronic configuration will be 2888. In both the
Okay.
cases, it has completely filled outermost shell, right? So either it can
Yeah.
lose all these 5 electrons, or it can gain 3 electrons. So which one is possible here? Which one is easy? That is possible. So yes, 3 electrons gaining is possible. So here the valence
Mm-hmm.
is 3, right?
Oh.
Let us look at this. Z. It has 2 electrons. It can lose 2 electrons, or it can gain 6 electrons, which is easy. Of course, losing 2 electron is easy. So it has the
Yeah.
valency as 2. Similarly, 3 electrons, it can lose 3 electrons. Valency is 3.
Mm-hmm.
Here it can lose 4 electrons, or it can even gain 4 electrons. So in this case it is equal, and yes, the valency is still 4.
Okay.
So now if we see the real definition of valency, we can say it is the number of electrons which can be lost or gained in order to achieve the completely filled outermost shell. So let us write
Mm-hmm.
that
Okay.
improvised definition of valency.
Yeah.
This is the number of electrons that can be gained or lost with ease to attain completely filled completely filled outermost shell. So now once we have talked about how to write the electronic configuration and how to get the valency using electronic configuration, let us move ahead towards gaining knowledge about writing the names of the compounds. Names of
Okay.
compounds. Okay, so before writing names, because writing name is not that much what we require, main focus is
Mm-hmm.
how to get the formula of compound. Get the formula of compound. So remember, even if we are finding the formula of the compound, we need to you use the idea of valency, and to get valency we need electronic configuration. So for example, I
Okay.
want to see the formula of sodium chloride. So what I will do, I know this is containing sodium, it is going to contain chlorine. So I will write the valencies. What is the valency of sodium?
Yeah.
Just write the electronic configuration 281, valency is 1. What is the valency of chlorine?
Yeah.
Write down the electronic configuration 287. So here also it will gain, it can easily gain 1 electron. So 1 is the valency. Now what you do, crisscross the valency, 1 and 1. So here it will not affect because both are same numbers,
Hmm.
but this is
But
a
one is
general rule.
281
After
and
writing valency,
one is
crisscross
287,
it
right?
and then write Na1 Cl1. That means
But
this is nothing but NaCl. This is the formula of sodium
yeah,
chloride.
but chloride has
Okay, let us see
287
another
as
formula where this
EC, right?
crisscross makes a sense. Let's say I want to write for aluminium chloride. Then we are definitely sure it is containing aluminium and chlorine. What is the valency of aluminium? 3. Right? You can use electronic configuration to find valency. Valency of
Yeah.
chlorine is 1. Then crisscross it without thinking anything. Now write Al with 1. So Al 1 and then Cl3. Cl3. So 1 doesn't mean anything. So I'll write Al Cl3. Let us write for, see, these are the simple compounds. We can easily find out their molecular formula. But let us suppose I want to write the molecular formula of sodium hydroxide, or let's say sodium carbonate. So for this, for sodium carbonate, we have to be sure what is this carbonate. It is CO3 2 minus. Sodium we already know, it is Na. Now what is this 2 minus which we have written? Let us understand this, because once we understand this, then we can easily write down the chemical formula of any compound. To find out the chemical formula of the sodium carbonates, we have, so we will remember some compounds like this, like carbonates, sulfates and all, because that is equally important to remember to deal with the
Okay.
chemical compounds.
Hmm.
So I'm writing the names here, we will go through it. One is ammonium, right? This is
Yeah.
ammonium.
Hmm.
So you can clearly understand that this is ammonium ion. I'm writing the
Yeah.
charge, that means this is an ion.
Hmm.
So if I write, let us suppose Na plus, what does this indicate? Na was having electronic configuration 281,
Yeah.
and when one electron is lost, we have seen in the formation of ions, that is, it gains positive charge if electron is lost. That means its electronic configuration will be 28. So I
Okay.
can say the number of positive charges or negative charges which is present, that is representing the valency of this element. So here
Okay.
also we can say valency of NH4 plus is 1. That's what we can get the idea by remembering these names. Okay.
Okay.
So hydroxide, we will remember OH minus. This is
Hmm.
hydroxide.
Okay.
So its valency is also 1. Let us suppose I wish to write the formula of sodium hydroxide. So I'll use sodium and then OH. Its valency 1, its valency 1. I'll crisscross it. I will write Na1 OH1. So that is NaOH only. Okay. There are
Okay.
other compounds.
Hmm.
Nitrate, NO3 minus. This is nitrate. And then we
Okay.
have hydrogen carbonate, that is also called as bicarbonate,
Hmm. Hmm.
and this is HCO3 minus. And we have carbonate. Carbonate is CO3 2 minus. Then we have sulfate. SO4 2 minus. These are polyatomic ions, right? We will remember these are polyatomic ions. So all these are
Okay.
general ions which I am writing. It should be remembered.
Hmm.
Then we have sulfite. Sulfite, it is not that much used. Rest all are very much used. So sulfite, it is SO3 2 minus. And finally we
Okay.
have phosphate. Phosphate
Uh-huh.
is PO4 3 minus. So these polyatomic ions we will remember along with the names, and mainly we will focus on their valencies. That means how many
Hmm.
plus or how many minus is present. So for example, let us use these polyatomic ions and write
Okay.
the name of the compounds. Let us say I want to write the name of the compound sodium carbonate. Sodium
Hmm.
carbonate. So sodium, I know the expression, the formula is Na. Carbonate,
Yeah.
you can look, it is CO3 2 minus.
CO3 2 minus.
So
Yeah.
CO3 2
What
minus.
is the 2
So
minus
what
there?
is the valency of sodium? 1. For carbonate it is 2. So what we do? We crisscross it and we write sodium with 2. So Na base 2 and then CO3. Here we do not write 2 minus, right? This is just to indicate the valency. So CO3
Hmm.
and then 1. That means Na2CO3, we can say this is the formula of the sodium carbonate.
Okay.
Okay. Let us say we have a compound ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride. So
Hmm.
ammonium ion, we can see it is NH4 plus,
4 plus. Yeah.
right? NH4 plus. Chloride,
Hmm.
definitely it's going to contain chlorine, so Cl. So
Cl.
if we look at valency, it is 1 and 1. Crisscrossing it, it will make it 1 1. So formula will be NH4Cl only.
Okay.
Another compound, let's see. So for example, we have aluminium oxide.
Okay.
Aluminium oxide. Number 2, we have calcium oxide.
Hmm.
So you can pause the video and let me know the formula for these aluminium oxide and calcium oxide. So basically Al aluminium oxide AlO,
Hmm.
valency 3, valency 2, crisscross
Yeah.
it, we will get Al2O3. Similarly
Hmm.
calcium oxide,
Yeah. Both are 2.
calcium 2, oxygen 2, crisscross, you will get 2 2. So Ca2O2. That
Oh,
means
okay.
these are same. We can just say
Yeah.
CaO as the formula for calcium oxide. Let's see for another one. Let's say for ammonium sulfate. Ammonium
Okay.
sulfate. What will be the expression? That's also simple. Ammonium NH4 plus sulfate. We
Yeah.
should remember SO4 2 minus. Remember, if it
Oh.
would have been ammonium sulfite, then it would have been
Hmm.
SO3 2 minus.
3. Yeah.
Right? So
Hmm.
here it
Yeah.
is SO4 2 minus. So valency 2 and 1 crisscross, we get NH4 base 2 and then
Hmm.
SO4 base 1. So we just eradicate that base 1. So let us see these questions. Write down the formulae of sodium hydroxide. So we discussed already, it's going to be NaOH.
Yeah.
Aluminium
Sodium oxide?
chloride. So
It's sodium
aluminium
oxide.
and chlorine. So
So,
valency
hello.
1 and 3. Crisscross it. So you will get
Hello.
AlCl3.
Hello. Hello.
Sodium sulfide.
Hello.
Sodium sulfide, that
Oh.
means sulfur. What is the valency of sulfur? So if you see the atomic number, it is 16. See the electronic configuration 286. I can add 2 electrons easily. So valency is 2 and valency is 1. So crisscross it again. You will get Na2S, that is sodium sulfide. Similarly, magnesium hydroxide, you will get MgOH2, right? Magnesium and hydroxide. Valency is 1, valency is 2. Crisscross it, you get Mg1 OH base 2, right? OH, its valency, its base is 2. That means we use whole 2, right? This is sodium oxide. If it would have been sodium hydroxide, this would have been correct. So sodium oxide, so Na and O. So valency 2 and 1.
2 and
Just
1, yeah.
interchange, you will get
Na2O.
Na2O. That
Yeah.
will be the formula for this first one, right? This is for sodium hydroxide, exactly.
Yeah.
So let us see the names of these compounds. The names we will see.
Okay.
So for the first one,
First is
I
aluminum
can say
sulfate.
aluminium sulfate,
Yeah. Second
right?
one
So
is
these
calcium
names will
chloride.
come by practice. You can
Okay.
just practice it again and again,
Calcium
and in
chloride.
long run you will see that without doing anything, without focusing on them, you are able to write the names and the chemical formulae as well. This is
Calcium
calcium
chloride.
chloride,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Calcium chloride.
Second
This
one
is
is potassium
potassium
sulfate.
sulfate, right? K for
Yeah.
potassium, and SO4 is sulfate.
Hmm.
This is potassium
Potassium
nitrate.
nitrate.
Very simple. I am directly
Yeah.
using the names. This is
Calcium
calcium
carbonate.
carbonate.
Hmm.
Okay. So there is a different thing you will find, that here I am writing calcium chloride. Rest all
Yeah.
other places I am using exactly the same name that I have given in the table above. But here, why instead of chlorine I am using chloride? Because whenever an anion, those atom which is having the tendency to form anion,
Yeah.
that we end it by ide. That means we add suffix to it as ide. That's why it is calcium chloride. So if it is negative ion, if it has tendency to form negative ion, it will be added ide at the suffix. So how many atoms are present in H2S and phosphate ion? Now this is the most easy question. We don't even need to go through it. So here hydrogen atom is present, sulfur atom is present. So how many atoms are present? In total you can see 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom
Yeah.
of sulfur. So we can see 3 atoms in
Okay.
total, and 2 different atoms, right? 2 different
Yeah.
atoms. Similarly we can see here how many different atoms? 2 different atoms again, and
Yeah.
a phosphate molecule or a phosphate group is having 1 atom of phosphorus, and along with this 4 atoms of oxygen in
Oxygen.
combined
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
So basically let us summarize. We didn't go through much of the contents today. In the next lecture we will talk about the mole concept, which is the most important part of chemistry. So
Okay.
today we mainly focused on the ways to write the electronic configuration, which is the
Yeah.
electronic arrangement, and we use this electronic arrangement to determine the valency, right? We determined valency, and finally we saw that knowing or having the idea to determine valency, it was very helpful to get the idea about the exact chemical formula, right? We already knew the
Yeah.
names. Writing the
Actually,
names
I
of
have a doubt.
chemical formula, or we can say chemical compound names, though those were easy.
Hello.
But writing the exact chemical formula which contained the exact number of atoms based on their valencies,
Okay.
right? We also
Yeah.
went through certain polyatomic ions. I have given the list of polyatomic ions. You are required to go through it again and
Yeah, I've
again.
written it down. I've written it
So
down.
remember all the complete polyatomic ions, the complete list we have had described above. So yes, in the next class, let us continue with the mole concept.